Before we start, there's some new UGC metal arm variants if you want to check them out. There's wood arms with different styles with leaves and cherry blossoms depending on the variant, and they work with any drip. There's even more anime and manga Roblox UGC coming soon, and check the link out down below. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we're here with a massive update all about the VOW iron. So last patch we just got a bunch of balancing, nothing too crazy, but now it's time to cook. Beforehand, I do want to say that this is just going to be a brief overview and introduction of the update without any in-depth guides, class breakdowns, or content drops. It's just a bit of understanding for the update. Trust me, I'll be making even more videos to help you guys out in a few days, but there's just so much to discuss. Keep that in mind for today's video. Anyway, as always, I recommend hopping into the game and checking it out for yourself. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can hit 120k, and let's begin. With a giant content section, let's talk about the new game mode with the Iron VOW. This is one of the smaller segments on the Verse 3 roadmap, but it's significant and extremely game-changing. Assume this is like Deepwoken but hardcore. In this video, this will just be a brief overview, not a full in-depth guide, but that's coming out soon. To access the VOW Iron game mode, all you gotta do is hop on any slot just like normal. Your slot can either be thrown into Iron VOW or the normal gameplay loop. All you gotta do is pick during the character creation. One thing you should probably know about this game mode is that your aspect race is chosen a little bit differently than in the main game. For the VOW Iron, you're able to choose between your main race for the Pathfinder mode, or you can roll off of it only for the VOW Iron. If you do spend money to change your race in the VOW Iron, your base game race will stay the same, but you'll get a free token to re-roll to something else. And you might want to check out some of the races available in the VOW Iron because some specs are here as well. The Lightborn, a rare dev race, is available for play. Heliodar, the Phoenix race, is here too. The Drakkar Dragon race for mods and testers, and a new rabbit race called Levitt. These guys look pretty cool and have giant ears that move around with a few different variants, but I'm a fan since they fit in the game, and we all knew at some point that we'd probably see rabbits in Deepwoken. Each of the races in this game mode, both the new and the old ones, have upgraded new passives in-game, so you might want to check those out for yourself. Anyway, when creating a character, you can select the VOW Iron, which will lead you into a new menu. This will display your memento, the character you want to play as, and will pick that to move forward. You can probably unlock different ones by completing different tasks in this game mode, but for right now, I'm not too sure. The most interesting part about the Iron VOW is how builds work. So instead of making your build with full customization over the talents and mantras, in this game mode, you're essentially progressing a pre-made class. These classes all have specific talents, mantras, and even upsides and downsides, but they will have gimmicks and abilities exclusive to the game mode. In my opinion, I think that these classes are much more extreme compared to base Deepwoken, where the flaws are really apparent, but the upsides are busted, but we'll have to see. The class you pick at the beginning of your Iron VOW progression has a set amount of stats they can invest into, and they're all different with exclusive content that only they can use. Checking your stats will show each attribute's max potential for your class and how it scales per level. As you level up, your build stats will also increase, and each one grows a little bit differently. It's fairly possible that you'll have a normal seeming build that rolls talents and uses items your stats allow, with add-on content as a bonus that's exclusive. It's definitely an interesting way to lay out these set characters, but I guess it's something new for how Deepwoken plays. Anyway, it's gonna throw us directly into the game, and let's get right into it. The first thing you'll see when you spawn in is the Cerebral Spire. That's gonna be your home base, and it's the core of all of your Iron VOW progression. So the Ghost here lets you spend notes to power up, buy talents, unlock mantras, and learn about the world, and this is basically your lifeline. In the VOW Iron, notes are the currency for almost everything. For upgrading, progression, and overall just getting better on your build, you need to use notes for every single part of progression. Once you're ready, you can leave the Spire using a TP point, which throws you somewhere random in the world. So you can return later to the Spire by reaching certain locations, but for now, you're on your own. Progress early on comes from completing missions for chest rewards, and you can deliver these to NPCs around the map for notes and crazy loot. Like, some of this loot is super new, but it's almost busted. After getting a bunch of notes and a ton of different loot, you can eventually return to the Spire and start investing in those mantras or talents. After leveling up a few different times, you're gonna hit a soft cap, and the only way to pass them is by beating bosses. Many of these bosses are inside of dungeon areas found around the map, and they're kinda secretive, but there's a bunch of new NPCs and lore drops that hint to towards your goal. Outside major fights, your loop stays pretty consistent. You run events, you haul chests and stack notes, and once you do that, you keep on leveling up. A good haul means a lot of levels, but to advance further, you need to take on those bosses. As you progress, you'll be using a few different items specific to this game mode. Let's start with the iron sack. As shown in the trailer, this stack can be used to hold and carry multiple chests at the same time, and this is really useful. All of these built up chests can be redeemed at the same time, saving you the trouble of picking up each to turn in. You're able to act freely with the iron sack out, but taking any damage is gonna force you to drop it. Additionally, when we get into boss fighting, it's possible to use a memory shard to redo a fight with reduced withered HP instead of drowning and go into the depths. This can be used to learn bosses or generally save time, but it's up to you how they can be used. With those two items, that's all you really need. You can also use the tool, the Etris Flask, that heals you whenever you use it, and you can always refill that at the Nexus. The Vow of Iron takes place in Deepwoken's past with new areas to explore alongside familiar ones that have changed. The map combines both the Etrian and Eastern Luminance with new NPCs, younger ones, and different areas altogether that haven't been developed. Most places have a different appearance, but it's kinda crazy to see how much they cooked for each location. Besides that, guild bases, trading with players, and banking won't be available, so once you're in, you're on your own for resources. In the overworld, your character is only gonna have one life, very similar to a void zone, and once you die, that sends you down into the depths. If you die in the depths, you'll wipe just like normal, but it is possible to buy a drowned favor just like the main game. Discussing gameplay, the monsters, enemies, and even bosses are gonna behave differently and may be harder with both their damage values and their AI. There's likely to be variant enemies or even new enemies exclusive to the Iron Vow that aren't in the main game. For overall movement, you should notice a bunch of new changes to your mobility. Some of these will be seen in the main Deepwoken game mode, while others are just for Iron Vow, but let's check them out. So for starters, you'll notice that you're now able to negate fall damage slightly using your air dash. Since the game mode is much more punishing and fall damage is always a problem in any situation, dodging right before the impact lessens or even negates the blow entirely within a certain distance. So it's pretty nice to see. So with aerial dashes, there's also a bunch of new features I'm a fan of as well. After slide jumping into an air dodge, you can now aerial attack right after. Previously, this just wasn't an option and it felt like you were limited in your aerial action, but now it's solid and has a lot of potential for catching or even combo starting. Instead of this, if you don't want to attack, you can actually air dash into the ground and instantly roll, which is a bit more defensive and more about mobility. Now, for overall movement, there's a bunch of new things you can do with climbing and wall bounces, and it's super smooth. In this game mode, it's now possible to double jump after back ejecting off of a wall. You can do this by jumping into a wall without inputting any direction, and that can let you scale tall architecture much more easily. This can also happen if you slam into the side of a wall, boosting you off in the opposite direction, and everything here is super smooth, but I'm really excited to give it a shot. With even more options, gliders have also been improved to be faster to get around easily, and ziplines are all over the map. So for now, I think that these mobility options are only limited to Iron Vow since there's way more control over what is allowed to the player, since we don't want it to get too crazy, but hey, maybe we'll see this in the main game. And with that being said, that's a small brief introduction to the Iron Vow game mode, and I'm excited to see how this plays out. So in the future, this will most likely be side content that isn't a major priority for the Deepwoken devs, so content and balancing for Iron Vow might be secondary to base gameplay. Anyway, hop into the game to check it out, and be on the lookout for even more guides about Deepwoken's new Iron Vow. So please leave your thoughts down below about all this new content, and hop in game for weekly Battle Royale. So the devs are always asking for feedback, and this helps them out. Thanks once again to all the supporters who motivate me daily and directly help out this channel. If you want to join as a member, go down below, but besides that, my personal Discord, guild Discord, and my UGC group are all linked, so check them out. Thanks once again, and make sure to like and subscribe. It's punchin' time.